Happy Sunday to you. This is 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year A. And in this Sunday, the Holy Mother Church presents to us these readings, but I will concentrate on the Gospel reading that is taken from the Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 10, verse 37 to 42. In this Gospel, Jesus is making it clear that the love of God supersedes the love of the neighbor. In the sense that he said, whoever loves his father and mother more than he himself, Jesus, is not worthy of him. Whoever loves his children more than Jesus is not worthy of Jesus. Whosoever will not take up his cross and follow Christ is not worthy of him. These are the major points that Jesus laid out before us. And this means that we have to embrace the love of God very well, because it is the love of God that we have that will lead us to love our neighbors, to love others without coming short of the love of God. You see, in the world today, what people call love is aberrated. Some people go into what is not the love of God. They go into sinful love. In other words, in a love, what they call love that blocks the will of God, that blocks the love of God, that blocks observing the commandments of God. So that is the reason why Jesus is saying that whoever loves anything or anybody more than Jesus is not worthy of him. And Jesus went on to say that whoever will not take up his cross daily is not worthy of him. This is very clear and understandable in the in the first reading of this day, taken from second book of Kings, where we are told about Elisha and the woman of Shunem. This woman has no child, and this is already a cross in her life, because matrimony, a marriage without a child, is very heavy on the heart of the couple. So this woman has lived a long period of time without a child, without an issue. And the husband of this wife is already old. So there wasn't any, humanly speaking, possibility of having a child. But this woman carried this cross for a long time, and she did not quit from doing the will of God, from being charitable to others. And that is the point that I want to drive at. She has a room reserved for a prophet, Elisha. This prophet, whenever he's tired, he goes into that room and rests before continuing his work as a prophet. A time arrived when the reality of the gospel came upon this woman's situation, and through the prophecy of Elijah, this woman received a baby. My dear good friends, in our lives today, like priests, like lay people, married people, or religious, in different ways we have crosses to carry. And the cross we carry will be heavier than it is when we carry a cross without Christ. It is a cross with Christ that gives grace to be able to be carried. I remembered in a vision I had some years ago when I was still a seminarian. I haven't been ordained a priest. There was a time when I had a cross, very heavy, and it was sapping my energy, stealing my joy, my happiness. That cross was so heavy and it was tearing me apart, but I could not give up. I was going to church, I was going to activities in the church, I was being charitable to people. One night, when we were about to say our prayers in the house, I used 4 quotations through the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. I used Job chapter 28, verse 28, Psalm 111, verse 10. I used Proverbs chapter 1, verse 9, and Proverbs chapter 9, verse 10. And these 4 quotations was talking about the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So I use it to say a brief reflection before we entered into prayer. And after that prayer, we all retired to our various rooms to rest. And in my own room, I had a vision. And in that vision, a cross was revealed. Before that cross was coming up, there was very beautiful atmosphere. And that cross was coming up. I said in that vision, oh, what a beautiful atmosphere. And this thing that is coming up, there must be something behind this good atmosphere. Lo and behold, that thing came up and it was uncovered. It was a cross, crucifix that was there. Immediately I saw that it was a crucifix. Jesus appeared beside me like this, and with one hand he carried that cross effortlessly. While having his gaze on me, my face was very frowned, very frowned, because I wasn't happy at that period. Jesus was placing his gaze on me, with one hand carried that heavy cross. Immediately he placed it on his hand like this, left hand like this. Mother Mary appeared beside him. And I saw beauty. Mother Mary is a very beautiful woman. And Jesus is a very handsome man. Their beauty and the radiance of their smiles started entering inside me. So when they saw that the joy they brought to me has already entered into me, because my face has started glowing and I was very happy, and then they left. I woke up crying. And in that dream, why I'm sharing this experience is that today's gospel is talking about taking up your cross and following Christ. What came upon me was a very heavy cross. I was trying to carry it along to maintain my life and my sanity. It was too heavy, and Jesus has to come to carry it for me through the graces that he has brought for me, and with one hand he carried it. It led me to Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 to 29, where Jesus was inviting us, come to me, all you that are having carrying heavy burden. I will take it from you. I will give you my own, because my own is light. Jesus comes to your own burden, to your own cross, to help you to carry it. But if you don't have Christ in your life, your own burden, your own cross will weigh down on you, and you may lose your faith, or you may begin to blaspheme against God. That is the danger of carrying a cross without Christ. So this Sunday, we are invited to carry our crosses with faith. Jesus will make it to be lighter, because through cross we are saved, and through the graces of cross we will continue receiving the salvation that Christ has worked out for us. Do not run away from cross, because St. Peter, when he wanted to run away from his own cross, he later came back to his senses and carried his cross and was crucified on that cross. And today he is with greatest happiness in the kingdom of Christ. My dear good friends, the gospel also emphasizes on being charitable to people. He says that even if it is a one glass of cold water you gave to somebody, not only priests, not only prophets, to give to somebody in need, you will get the reward abundantly. So let us go out and begin to be charitable, and let us embrace the grace that God is